Hi everyone and welcome to Shenanigans. Today we're going to talk about grandmotherhood, one of my favorite subjects. My name is Chris, but my favorite people call me Grammy. My video is not going to be specifically about my grandchildren. It's going to be about how I approach grandmotherhood and just some of the things that I have and do and what I love about grandmotherhood. Okay? And I have notes because I can't remember everything I want to say. So if you hear paper rattling or you see me looking down, that's why. Okay. First thing I want to do is share just a couple of fun sayings with you. All right? Grandchildren bring hope, joy, and purpose. A garden of love grows in a grandmother's heart. Here's a grandma exercise routine for you. Kiss and squeeze. Repeat 3 times. And it doesn't do anything for your weight, but oh, what it does for your heart. Right? We like to kiss and squeeze our little grandbabies, even when they're 14, 15, 16. A grandmother remembers all of your accomplishments, but none of your mistakes. Grandmothers are the people who take delight in hearing babies breathe into the phone. I do remember before we were really video chatting a lot, I would sit there and listen to my grandbaby babble on the phone and breathe and, but when you can't be there, you do the best you can, right? The benefit of being a grandma is spoiling your grandchildren and then sending them home. Grandmothers are short on criticism and long on love. Grandchildren fill a space in your heart you never knew was empty. I actually have a piece of decor in my home that says that. And it holds photos, and I have photos in there. The other thing that I like that has to do with grandchildren that's displayed in my home is this plaque that was given to me as a gift. And it says, grandbabies, it's always the small things that take your breath away. And I have that just below a family picture that I have hung here in my home. And just, I have quite a bit displayed, but here's another one that has some photos in it. But it says, the love of a family makes life beautiful. And yes, I believe that. Family's important to me. I am so grateful and thankful. Thank you, God, for all my blessings. So all my grands call me Grammy. And sometimes my 14, almost 15-year-old granddaughter will call me Gram or Grams. And she's just started doing that in the past year or two. And she doesn't do it all the time, but sometimes she does it, I guess, just to switch things up. So the name Grammy was a name that I had picked out before I even had grandchildren, before I even knew I was going to have grandchildren. And the way that I picked out the name Grammy was because my biological father, who I did not know growing up, my mother and my biological father divorced when I was very young, less than a year old. So I did not know him growing up. But when I did meet him and he was talking about family, his family, he talked about his Grammy Pearl, and he spoke with her with such affection that it just stuck with me. And I thought, if I ever become a grandmother, I want to be called Grammy. So that's how I came up with my name. And what happened was a sister-in-law of mine, she became a grandmother before I did, and she went by the name Grammy. And I'm sure she had no clue I had even thought about that name. But you know what? It's okay, because millions of women all over the world are called the same name, right? Like Mom, Grandma, Grammy, Mimi, Nini, Oma, Abuela, right? So it doesn't bother me one bit. So what name do you go by? Anybody out there go by the name Grammy? Did your grandchildren come up with your name? Or did you come up with your name and then you said, this is what I'll be called, and you just referred to yourself as that name? Or did the name come up organically? Like your first grandchild just happened to call you something that was similar to the name Grandma and it stuck. Something unique? Share in the comments. If you think you have a very unique grandma name, let us know. I'm very interested. It's so fun to hear all of the different names. So for many years, our 14, almost 15-year-old granddaughter had her own room at our house when she'd come visit. It was painted pink, it had her name on the wall, and it was hers. Well, her parents had 3 little boys, boom, 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 one after the other, after about 9.5 years of having their first daughter. And then our son also had a child, a daughter. So we had these 4 little ones. We have 4 little ones, all the age of 5 and under. And we're expecting another one here shortly. So we'll have 6. Anyways, we changed our granddaughter's bedroom up. We talked to her first and said, it's really pink and it's really all about you with your name on the wall. What do you think about switching it up a little bit? And you know what? She was fine with it. I think she had kind of grown out of all the pink and girly stuff, how we had it. So it was great. So that's where I am right now. We painted the walls neutral color instead of, it was shades of pink and green. There is one wall in this room that's my favorite wall, and I will share some video of that with you. Basically, I have newborn pics of all my grandchildren on the wall. The bottom 3 are all brothers. Those are the boys. And these are black and white pictures, but the crowns are actually different colors. It's the same exact crown. I just painted it with each new baby. And then, of course, the girls are in the upper left and the upper right corner. The great news is that I saved a frame here, knowing that we would possibly have one more child, and we are, and it's going to be here in just a couple of months, and it's a boy. So we have that crown already painted a different color for our 4th grandson, and when he gets his pictures taken in it, I will rearrange and add his photo to the wall. So grandma brag books. Anybody remember those? Little books, hold like a 4x6 picture, probably 20 pages. Everything's electronic now. Nobody has them anymore, but I do. I still have one for every one of my grandchildren, and I put pictures in it of their first year of life, and then I keep them on a little bookshelf in our living room, because sometimes it's nice to have hard copy pictures, right? It's nice to be able to just whip it out and show it to company because we want to brag, right? It's a brag book. I think they're all Carter's brand. I don't know, some of you may remember the brand Carter. I know they do clothing, and there's probably some Carter's clothing stores for children still out there. But so each one has photos, and in the front there's a place to write their name, date of birth, things like that. So we have 3 boys and 2 girls, and I have one more purchased, ready and waiting for our new grandbaby boy. What about baby books? I don't think moms are doing baby books anymore. I did for both of my children. I kept their hospital bracelets, lock of their hair. I wrote statistics in it, their height, their weight, when they first pooped on the toilet, things like that. But I think that's old fashioned. I don't think moms are doing that anymore. So, so we have a son and we have a daughter. Our son's older and our daughter's younger. And there's just something special about your daughter having a daughter. It's just, it's just special. In fact, my first Mother's Day as a grandmother made my mother a great-grandmother for the first time. And that first Mother's Day, which was my daughter's first Mother's Day as well, the three of us actually gave each other necklaces for Mother's Day, and we didn't even know it. And that's actually what I'm wearing right now, is the necklace my mom gave to me, and it has a saying on it about grandchildren, and I wear it kind of a lot. It's my go-to. And one of the other things about having a granddaughter is we had her try on my wedding dress and my daughter's wedding dress, and that was kind of fun. That was fun. So when your son has a son, now my son has a daughter right now, but they're expecting a baby pretty soon, and it's a boy. So I'm so excited. I wonder, will this baby boy look like my son? My granddaughter looks like her daddy a little bit, so it'll be interesting. What I did is, all these years, my son is 40 years old, and all these years I saved his very first birthday outfit. His cute little blue and white pinstripe with a red bow tie. I saved that. And also his christening outfit. Now, it had yellowed over the years, and my daughter-in-law was able to kind of get that yellowing out of it that happens from aging. So that'll be so fun to see our grandson in our son's first birthday outfit. The other neat thing about having a grandson, having your son have a son, is that the last name, our family name, will carry on through our branch of the family tree. So all my grandchildren live out of state right now. The majority of them, my daughter's family, lived very close, but they're all out of state now. So one of the things I do to try to keep bonded with them is I will mail them pictures that I color. And of course, sometimes cards, but cards, I think they just look at it and throw it away. So for birthdays, I'll send a birthday present, and I'll send a card, a store-bought card, and put money in it. That is, like our one grandson, he just turned 5, so I put 5 $1 bills in it. And so I'm sure he thought that was fun. But the card doesn't mean as much as the $5 bill. So anyway, so just for the heck of it, just out of the blue, I like to send them a handmade coloring or a card, or just something that I've drawn, or a real easy note that I've written to them. And I put them in individual envelopes. But when I mail them, I don't mail them individually, because what if they don't arrive on the same day? And I don't want anyone to feel left out. So I put all of their envelopes in one envelope and mail it to them. Kids love to get stuff in the mail. So I did quick drawings. Each one probably took me maybe 5 minutes. I'm not sure. I just said a little something special. I love you with all my heart. That's for the oldest grandson. His name is Benaiah. It's pronounced Benaiah. And then the next grandson, you light up my life, Judah. And then the next grandson, you are very special. His name's Jeremiah. We call him Jer Bear. And then our 14-year-old granddaughter, her name is Tessa, and she is a lovely girl. So they each get their own little envelope, and then I'll mail them in this envelope. I'm going to put 2 stamps on it and call it good. Another way that I try to keep bonding with my grandchildren is when each one was first born or around their first birthday, I got them a recordable stuffed animal. And they make recordable books where you can read to your grandchild, but I did the stuffed animals, and for each of my grandchildren, I've made a little tune, just a short little tune that has their name in it, and Grammy Loves You, something like that. Very easy, and they each have their own song, and that's what I recorded on their recordable stuffed animals. And I don't have I don't have a singing voice, but they love it. I'm sure the parents don't. Probably drives the parents crazy because they keep listening to it over and over, but they love it, and it helps me feel like I'm there when I'm not there. Here's the stuffy that I have purchased for our new grandbaby due in about 2 months. It's very easy to use. I've purchased all of them from Hallmark.
Record a message for the little.
And I love what it says here on the tag. It says, "Be there when you can't." This one was $29.99, and I just love these. I absolutely love these. I recently discovered that I need to pay attention to my demeanor, my mannerisms, everything when I'm around my grandchildren. Especially when they're not around you a lot, they pick up on things very, very quickly, and they just notice every little thing. Well, one time I was out of state visiting the grandbabies at my daughter's house, and the middle son, my middle grandson, was probably almost 3. And we're sitting on the couch watching a movie, and he says, "Grammy, why are you angry?" And I said, I'm not angry. "Why do you think I'm angry?" And he said, "Your face looks angry." So I assured him, no, I'm not angry, but I thought, I do have that kind of a face. If I'm not smiling, I look angry, and there's a name for it. Have you guys heard of RBF? Yeah, resting witch face. Yeah, I got it. That's me. That's my face. So I try to be very intentional now when I'm around them. Like, make sure they know that I'm happy. I'm with them. I love them. Let's see. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is one-on-one time. When my grandchildren lived here in the state, the ones that were old enough would come and have a sleepover by themselves. Or if they weren't quite old enough and ready for that, I would take them out and go do something for maybe an hour, not all day, but just go do a little something, have one-on-one time, and or go in another room and play, read a book, and just have one-on-one time. And of course, you have to tell every single one of them that they are your favorite. So here are some things you can say to make your grandchild feel special. Okay, you ready? "You make me smile every time I see you." Or, if you don't see them very often, "You make me smile every time I think of you." "You're fun to be with." "You're one of my very favorite people in the whole wide world." "I love you so much." "You are special, especially to me." So something I read really resonated with me, and it said, our grandchildren won't remember us in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. What they know is what we are now in the present, in our later years, in our tired years, in our maybe a little bit grumpy years, right? So be intentional. Make sure that you're aware of how you are presenting yourself around your grandchildren. So here are pictures of me holding each grandbaby for the first time. And these are pictures of just me with them. I do have others with me and my husband, and some of just my husband by himself with the grandbabies. I have lots and lots of pictures, but this is about grandmotherhood. So we have the 3 grandsons, and look, I'm wearing blue in each picture. How funny that I'm wearing blue in each picture. And then we have 2 granddaughters, and they were both born in the wintertime. Isn't that interesting? My daughter and daughter-in-law are so wonderful. They really humor me. For each of my grandchildren, what I've done is taking them to J.C. Penney's to get their photographs taken for their first birthday. And I know moms these days don't take their children to J.C. Penney's. I think that's old-fashioned. But anyways, so what I did is all of the boys would wear a bow tie. All of the girls would wear a bow in their hair. And then I saved those items. And I am currently getting ready to put those pictures for the 5 grandchildren that I have in the same kind of picture frame. All the frames will be white and match. Right now they're kind of mismatched, but they'll be wearing the outfit that has the bow tie, and then the bow tie will actually be attached to the frame. So that's my current project that I'm working on, and I just try to keep busy and think about my grandchildren and have things that I love in my home that remind me of my grandchildren. Okay, here are the 5 precious moments that I have. They're the birthstone angels, and I have one for every grandchild. And I know they're no longer popular. They're a dime a dozen, but I have quite a bit. I have a cabinet full, and look at this one. My son and daughter-in-law gave to me when they were expecting their first child. Isn't that sweet? So anyways, there they are, and I have a little bit of room here on the right because we're expecting another one. My son and daughter-in-law are expecting another child, so I'm so excited. And I love my precious moments. I don't care what anybody says. When I'm gone from this earth someday, they can throw them away, they can keep the ones they want, whatever my kids and family want to do. I won't care when I'm gone. But while I'm here, I still love them. So how about you? Are you like me? Are you far from your grandchildren? Are they not where they can just stop by, or you can drop by their house if they call and ask you to come over? That can be a little tough. So I'm so grateful that we have video in our phones that we can call. It's like Star Trek, right? And we just talk to them. It's wonderful. But it's not the same as holding them and spending time with them in person. But you know what? We do the best we can with what we have. And I hope that some of these little tips and tricks that I've mentioned that I do will help you. And if you have any tips and tricks of things that you do that have anything to do with being a grandmother, would you go ahead and leave a comment and let us know so that we can take part in what you have to share? Maybe we want to share that with our grandchildren as well. Well, thank you so much for joining me today in one of my favorite subjects, grandmotherhood. And thanks for watching Shenanigans. Can't wait to meet baby boy. Oh gosh, I never would have imagined 6 grandchildren. Time goes by fast.